Martin Mystery is one of a few series wherein any episode could hypothetically work as a Halloween special, with one or two exceptions. Don't believe me? This was their normal intro. This episode just happens to be the one that takes place during Halloween. Seeing as how this show might not be as well known, to give you some background info, the show's star Martin is a teenage paranormal investigator who worked with his stepsister Diana and their mutual friend Java the Caveman. They operate out of their boarding school Torrington in Quebec, and you know what they say about French Canada.
Welcome to French Canada! We have everything a heart could desire. Trapezes, trampolines, and lots of cheese. Would you like a mustache?
They work for the Center, a paranormal regulation organization that wants to figure out what all this bumping in the night is all about. The show is actually based on an Italian comic, the biggest difference being that Martin is an adult man, and his relationship with Diana isn't his step-siblings. It's as a married couple, and yes, I know. Java's pretty much the same, by the way. So, the episode begins in Charlottetown, the capital city of PEI, i.e., that island where Anne of Green Gables happens. Basically, some lady finds a necklace of the shopkeeper with the most Irish name I've ever heard of outside of the Emerald Isles, Paddy O'Brien, doesn't recognize. She stupidly puts it on, and that cues vague evil wind. Vague evil wind. When you want something spooky to be happening, but you haven't made up your mind about what that is yet. Meanwhile, Martin and Java are getting ready for Halloween with a little mild school property damage to get Java a proper ghost costume, with Diana wanting no part of it.
Because Halloween is way too commercial. A lame excuse to sell costumes and decorations and candy.
Tell it to your blog. Martin, of course, also gets ready for a night of trick-or-treating by putting on his superhero costume. But as it turns out, there was a bit of a mix-up at the costume shop.
Hey, what gives?
Whoa, nice diaper!
Before he can call the shop to tease their heads off about getting him the wrong costume, the Center summons them, and apparently their little buddy Billy is going as Martin this year. Mom, the Center's leader and their handler, not their actual mother, by the way, just to be clear, it stands for Mission Operation Manager, tasked them to head down to Prince Edward Island to figure out what happened to that shopkeep, wherein they discovered that the shop is currently in the middle of a dead zone.
The house is burning. Your daughter's in the house. It's not too late.
No, not like that.
This is a dead zone, a circle of dead vegetation indicating a supernatural hotbed.
When they walk inside, Martin performs a slime scan on some gunk dripping from the ceiling, discovering that it's actually blackberry jam.
Don't mind if I do.
Okay, barring the fact that was on the floor, so at the very least it's now got shoe dirt on it, they found it dripping off the ceiling. Nothing appealing drips from a ceiling. So, after getting to the hospital to interview O'Brien, they discover that something from the necklace possessed the woman and scared the shillelaghs out of him, but they're interrupted by a big raven that for some reason flies like a hummingbird. They end up evading the thing, but then realize it's taken Patty. Alright, to condense this down, the villain is Carlin.
So this next piece of material, like most good ideas, is fairly simple. It's just a list of people who ought to be killed. Okay?
I wish. Carlin is a Celtic goddess of the underworld. She's giving out candy with the jam in it to trick-or-treaters, transforming them into whatever they're dressed as. The idea being she wants to make a monster army. And since Martin was such a big fan of that jam, which she's put into her chocolates...
Oh my gosh, he's turned into a baby!
Well, this just became a concerningly large section of the internet's favorite episode. Having no choice, and since he's already dressed as Martin, they ask Billy to sub in. And yeah, this is a show where the title character can be rendered incapacitated for the remainder of an episode. And honestly, Billy doesn't do half bad. He even managed to get the necklace off. Unfortunately, while Billy's back was turned, Martin put the talisman on, letting Carlin body jump to possess him. So after turning into a crow, and since it would be another season until Billy was revealed to have once been an alien warlord, instead of ripping her wings clean off, Billy gets her in a net and they manage to force Carlin out. Afterwards, to reward Billy, they decide to stay there for the night to trick-or-treat, Diana actually getting to the Halloween spirit too.
I changed my mind. Except for the rotting vegetation, the freakish raven, the demented leprechaun, and the crazed power-hungry spirit, Halloween's a lot more fun than I remember.